Thai green curry starts with a paste. I got this recipe off my friend who was brought up in the villages in Thailand. And it starts with a paste with shallots, chilli, garlic, ginger and lemongrass and lots of coriander. It's the coriander that actually makes it green. So to make this paste, I put it in my processor. That makes the paste. So notice that there's no milk, there's no coconut milk or anything in it at this stage. You can also use this. This is Blue Dragon Green Thai green curry. It's a jar. It's a couple of pounds in the supermarkets, and that's quite a nice one. It's not deep enough. It doesn't have enough garlic and ginger in it for her taste. So we start with the paste, and then afterwards you can use this for the highlights. You can buy ginger already chopped in these jars, and I've actually brought the lemongrass in this puree. Next step is to get your vegetables ready. This is quite a quick dish, so they need to be ready. So I've sliced some mushrooms, peas. I've sliced them in half so that you can see the peas coming through, and I've sliced the baby corn and some pak choy. You can use whatever vegetables that you like. I like those. You can also have a little bit of red pepper if you like. Just cut it into very tiny little squares so it's like little jewels throughout it. I'm not using the red pepper today, but I am going to be adding some bamboo shoots and water chestnuts. They're crunchy and nutritious. They come in tins and they're quite easily found in the supermarket. So the peas I've just sliced in half lengthways to expose the little peas inside. I think that's quite pretty. Again, the corn I've just sliced on the angle, and the mushrooms I've sliced in half and just sliced them straight through. They just go straight into my dish. And the pak choy, I just slice it, the white bit I slice at an angle. That takes a minute or two longer to cook. So I pop that into my dish. You can use cabbage. You can use Chinese cabbage, use whatever you've got. You can use spinach. And then I'm just going to slice the green bit. The green bit doesn't take so long. And I'm using today Gambardeli's medallions. I'm going to put them in. This works really well in a Thai green curry, which is essentially a stir fry. The other thing you can look for is Thai basil. This is Thai basil dried. I can't find it any other way in the UK, but you can actually just use fresh basil. So I'm now going to, first thing to do is to fry my paste and then add my vegetables and my medallions. So my pan's hot. Now my friend would normally use coconut oil for this. I'm just going to use some rapeseed oil. I quite like that. I want to make sure the oil is over all of the pan. And then I'm going to add my curry paste that I made. And the first thing I'm going to do is just let it fry. Just going to spread it out and let it fry. And my Thai friend says this is how you get green curry. She said if you add your coconut milk or any other milk too soon, it tends to be a white green curry. So she said it's something that they just don't do. So you spread it out and you leave it. Leave it to fry off. We're starting to get some steam come up, and we don't touch it until it starts to bubble through. The oil should start to bubble through the paste, and that's when you know that it's ready. It's starting to have some little bubbles here. I know there's a space there, and my paste might be a little bit thick. Just move it out a little bit, and you can see if it bubbles up. Certainly bubbling up there. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking just for this bubbling up of the oil. Starting to bubble up here. Starting to bubble up over there. Here and there it's starting to bubble up. That is the sign that you're ready to move on. So you can then just continue to let it fry for a few minutes. At this point, I'm going to add my mushroom soy sauce. You can add just ordinary soy sauce. You add that to taste. I'm just going to turn the heat down slightly. So I'm adding creamy oat fresh. Now this is the one that I'm adding because I find that this is nice and light, whereas I find coconut milk is really quite heavy. But you can add coconut milk and you need to add some water. And once you've got it like that, you can turn it up again. And the smell is delicious. It really smells beautiful. I'm now going to add my Gambardelli's medallions into that. Let's break it up. And then I'm going to add my vegetables. It's coming up cooking nicely. And I'm going to add all the vegetables that I had. I like a lot of vegetables in it. And I'm going to add my bamboo shoots and water chestnuts. And I'm just going to let that all bubble down and cook together. Something else that you can add is really nice is Thai basil. That I got Thai basil, or you can just add plain basil. So I'm going to add some Thai basil because that adds a nice flavour. If you can get it, it's optional, you don't have to use it. And I'm just going to leave that now for the vegetables to cook down. If I think that there's not enough liquid in it, I can put in some more water. And at this point, if I want to add this jar of paste, I can add that. Do taste it first though. You might be quite happy with the taste. We add this because we can't get kaffir lime leaves and kaffir limes, and that's all in there. So this is adding to the more authentic taste. I'm just going to add the contents of that jar. But that's entirely optional. It's just added, it's not necessary, it's just added flavour. Cooked. You just want the vegetables cooked and still crunchy. You don't want them too mushy. But it should be a little bit of a soupy consistency. So there we are. I'm just going to leave that now to cook for a little. So my Thai green curry is blipping away quite nicely. It's quite nice and soupy. I've added a little bit extra water. And the last couple of minutes, if you like, you can add some tofu. This is plain tofu. It would be very traditional to add tofu. Or you can add smoked tofu, marinated tofu. There's lots of different tofus available now. And that's just going to be for the last couple of minutes. So the last touch for my Thai green curry is I'm just going to grate the zest of this lime over it. It brightens the flavours at the end, and it adds that little bit of acidity which sometimes we are missing in cooking. All the zest. It's only a little bit of zest, but it's where the essential oils are. And then I'm just going to squeeze half a lime over it. So that is Gambardelli's Thai green curry with vegetables. I've put tofu in it and Gambardelli's medallions. I'm now going to serve it, and I serve it with some brown rice. I'm going to put some picked coriander leaves over it as well, because that just adds a little bit of freshness. Put some coriander over the rice. I'm serving it with some lemon wedges, and just put some coriander. You can cut the coriander if you think it's a little bit too big. You could use coriander cress. I've put some rice in it, and I'm just going to serve it with my lovely Thai green curry. I think it smells wonderful, and I'm sure that's absolutely delicious. So Thai green curry is one of my favourite dishes. I absolutely love this recipe. However, you might taste it and you might find it's a little bit too hot for you if you don't like things too hot. So maybe cut back a little bit on the chilli, use less ginger, and add some more coconut milk, whole fat coconut milk. That will actually take it down, or some coconut cream. That will take the heat down. I mean, I absolutely love this. It's one of my favourite dishes. It's so good, so tasty. I think it goes really well with the rice. I cook whole grain brown rice with it. You could do jasmine rice, you could do noodles with it. Makes a lovely soup with noodles. But it's a very warming dish. It's really delicious. and I think that the medallions go really well with it. If you didn't have any medallions, you could use steak slices, just slice your steak up and add it to it, or even some thin slices. Slice them up and add it to the sauce. And meanwhile, I'm going to have my lunch. Absolutely delicious. I hope you try it and enjoy it.